On today's show,
there's 1, 2, 3,
counting on a dream.
6 or 7 of them in there.
Jeff Farber and friends hit a jackpot right here in Minnesota.
This is what I got out of here last year.
We explore one of Minnesota's lesser-known trout streams.
And that's exactly the sizzle I was hoping to hear.
And a fall recipe fit for your big game.
Minnesota Bound, presented by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems.
Hi everybody, Bill, Millie, and I welcome you to Minnesota Bound.
Up first, a story about where outdoor fun meets chasing dreams.
Jeff Farber takes up the most unique hobby.
Yeah, it turns out there's gold in these hills.
Down around the Minnesota River Valley, Jeff Farber fires up for an eternal game of hide and hopefully seek.
It's just fun, relaxing.
Jeff shovels ravine dirt and washes out the fine details.
See it span there.
This is what chasing a dream looks like.
Ooh, look at them nice garnets. There's that one right there. That's a nice big one. That was pretty good. I'll dig that all day long.
Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 of them in there.
I'm a gold prospector. I dig for gold. This is what I got out of here last year. There's probably about 3 grams in there.
Just about anywhere in the state of Minnesota, if there's gravel, you're probably going to find gold.
Exactly why Jeff and friends gather on a late summer weekend.
Well, today we're having an outing in Henderson, Minnesota.
I thought I was the only one in Minnesota that was doing this.
We're treasure hunters. We look for coins, we look for, agates, we look for gold.
Part of an organization called the GPAA, Gold Prospectors Association of America. There's from a 9-year-old to a 90-year-old almost.
Today, they dig in a shaded ravine along the Minnesota River.
I look for the bigger rocks and I kind of come out a little ways from it. Anytime you look for gold, a black sand is an indicator. The glaciers, when they came down, they pretty much just scraped all the gold that was on the earth or whatever, and it kind of just mound up, and then when the glaciers melted, it just spread it all out, which they call the glacier till. And it's spread throughout.
Turns out people a long time ago knew it. In the 1800s, prospectors mined Minnesota for gold. A short-lived gold rush, a futile pay. A dream that lives even now.
It's a hobby. It's a hobby. You're not going to get rich off it, but it's nice just getting out into the outdoors.
Exactly why this niche rendezvous stirs up more and more attention.
People come out here and have fun just looking for gold as a hobby.
Oh, the big nugget. Everybody wants to find the big nuggets.
It's all small, little flower gold. Once in a while, a little flake, and very, very seldomly a picker. A picker is what we refer to as something that you can actually pick up with your fingers.
An act best refined back in camp.
Ready, set, gold!
In the group's annual speed pan contest.
Set, gold! Ready, set, gold!
You're being too careful, man. Let it rip.
Ready, set, gold!
It's just a fun hobby to get outside and do it.
People are happy just with a couple flakes.
For anybody who's thinking about getting into something like this, just give it a try. Grab a pan, buy one, they're pretty cheap.
And who knows, you might even strike it rich. Maybe not in gold.
Thanks for coming.
But certainly other ways.
It's fun. You get gold like that, it's fun.
It's a nice family thing to put together that everybody can enjoy.
It's why I do it. It's why everybody else does it.
Coming up, a secret honey pot for rainbow and brook trout. It's hidden along Minnesota's North Shore.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems, Aluma Trailers, Ice Castle Fish House and RV, and by Coors Light.
Up next, a story about one of my favorite places on earth, knee-deep in a trout stream along Lake Superior's North Shore. Thing is, some people forget about the lesser-known places, exactly why Ben Erb fishes. Ron Chera shares Ben's story.
Highway 61 along the North Shore. A scenic drive for sure. Covered with popular known fishing spots. But keep your eyes peeled for the unseen ones.
A lot of these streams, they really don't look like much from Highway 61, but once you get on the trail, you know, maybe get your feet wet a little bit. There's a lot of hidden gems up here.
North of Grand Marais sits one of them. One of Ben Erb's favorite places to guide.
Well, it's nice having streams like this right at your front door. I try not to have any really, secret spots, but it is cool having an area like this that not a lot of people go to, certainly not a lot of people fish, and the fishing is pretty good and the scenery is tough to beat.
It's the main reason he moved up here.
I'd always made trips up here, fell in love with it a long time ago. Last summer, I made the move up here and haven't regretted it.
Because it's a gold mine for trout.
This area we're in right now, it's a sanctuary. So when the rainbow trout spawn in the spring, it's no fishing. And when the brook trout spawn in the fall, it's no fishing.
Making the time to fish them extra special.
You don't have the big steelhead or the salmon in here. It's the resident trout, which don't get as big, but are very beautiful. And that's kind of what we're out here to find. There we go. Oh, shoot.
Not the easiest fish to get your hands on.
What happened?
I lost him. Not good. There we go. Try a couple through here. Come on, trout. All right. I refuse to believe there's not a trout in there. I'm gonna try a different fly. Oh, I just missed one. I just missed another one. Okay, maybe they're on to us.
Better luck at the next spot.
A lot of these spots are like that. One cast, if they're there, you'll get them. If not, you move on. Okay, no one home. As you go up the river, these canyon walls just get tighter and tighter and taller and taller. And in the summer like this, it's so green and pure.
The fish are just an added bonus.
If I was out just to catch fish, there's plenty of other spots in the state that I would come to, but there's a reason I chose here.
The element of surprise being one.
That sense of what's around the next corner. Maybe that awesome fishing spot is going to be there. Maybe you'll see a moose. maybe you'll see a really beautiful waterfall. There's always something to explore. There's always something new to find along the North Shore here.
When you do catch a fish, it's the ultimate satisfaction.
All right.
Because even the little ones,
That's another nice rainbow.
get your heart racing every time.
See ya. It's really fulfilling when you can go out and catch a fish on something that you made in a place like this. So that's what's appealing about it to me. We're really out here for the scenery, to catch the really beautiful fish, because you're not always going to catch really big ones. But the scenery, the peace of mind, you know, the serenity of a stream like this is really why we're out here.
So next time you're on a road trip, keep your eyes open, because you never know what's hiding next to the highway.
They're not always necessarily better than streams that are easier to get to. It's just kind of that sense of adventure that'll bring you up to an area like this, and it's worth checking out.
Still ahead, the sound of Minnesota's summer bird.
And we're gonna add our onion right to that.
But first, Laura heads to the kitchen for a recipe favorite of hunters who head west.
Closed captioning provided by Star Bank.
Hi everybody, today we're getting wild in the outdoor kitchen and I'm here with Chef Jim Kinberg, Executive Chef with Delwood Country Club. And Chef Jim, I am so excited for what's on the menu today. What are we cooking?
We are cooking elk. We're doing some cast iron elk with some sweet corn. Sweet corn's in season 2.
Awesome, and it's coconut sweet corn, isn't it?
Coconut sweet corn, yes. We're getting a little creative with it.
Sounds good. All right, what are the first steps?
First step is season the elk.
All right, let's do it.
Please notice I got a little bit of olive oil here. If you want to drizzle just a little bit right over those elk medallions, those elk steaks. And we're going to sprinkle a little bit of salt and pepper on there. A little more generous with the salt than the pepper.
Cast iron has been on the flames for a while, so I'm assuming you want it pretty hot?
You want to hear that nice sear when that meat hits the pan for sure.
Nice and hot.
Yes. And that's exactly the sizzle I was hoping to hear. That's perfect. So go ahead and drop all 3 of them on there.
If you don't have elk in your freezer, you could also use venison, of course,
You
right?
can use venison, definitely. I mean, you could probably do something very similar with turkey breast. Wild turkey would be great, you know, game birds of any sort. So it's been about 3.5 minutes, and we're gonna take a little peek, and you notice we got that beautiful golden brown crust I was talking about. And this is why I just wanted to rub those steaks with a little bit of olive oil, because I didn't want that excess oil in the pan burning up and getting gunky and getting that off flavor. So we just got a nice little sheen down there, and we're gonna add our onion right to that. So you got some fresh sweet corn that I shucked earlier. We're gonna just put that right on top of those onions. All right, we're gonna give it the old finger test, and it's kind of bouncing back at me. It's still just a little soft, which is exactly where I want it. If I had a meat thermometer, I'd probably want to cook this to about 120, 125. Get all that flavor from the elk into that corn, and we're gonna deglaze with some of this coconut milk.
And is that just straight coconut milk?
That is straight coconut milk. Scoop a little of that cream corn on there.
Perfect campfire meal. Ooh, this looks delicious. Time for a bite.
Let's give it a try. That was really good.
So good. Once again, you knocked it out of the park, Jim.
Thank you.
As always, it's wildly delicious.
Straight ahead, a love of wrens and the houses they live in.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Moen's Mouse Mix and by Totem Resorts, the premier destination for world-class fishing.
Up next, my dad Ron Shera heads to farm country.
Yep, to discover a story about the smallest of game birds, a bird, Millie, with a story to share.
She's talking to me now. There's one up there, but I can't see him, I can just hear him. The sound of that good music.
It's music sung by a feathered flute. The house wren, a summer sound in Minnesota as common as thunder, and pretty loud too, for a bird that weighs about as much as 2/4. But nobody enjoys the wren's repertoire any more than 79-year-old Raymond Schweiss.
It's kind of nice to sit down if you got time and watch how these birds operate. I mean, they know how to make things go.
Indeed, wrens will burst into song as often as 10 times a minute.
I like their noise. Like you can tell, they're singing away now, and they're talking to me. Maybe for some reason that I'm too close to them or something. I don't know, but I mean, it's just that I like being around them because it's when they feel good, I feel good.
Amazingly, the joy of wrens is known throughout the Western Hemisphere, from Canada to Chile. And Minnesota's wrens, like many Minnesotans, go south for the winter, but return in springtime.
When they come, then I get busy if I even had them done yet, you know.
For more than 2 decades, Ray has built wren houses.
It's a lot of them. I'd say 45, 50 maybe.
Houses of every style.
It's an apple, and the wren has got a nest in there. I didn't think that they'd go in there because being it was red, I thought maybe they'd fly by, but boy, I tell you, didn't take them long, and they started making a nest in there in no time. This one is, well, I made it like a church, and it seems they like it because I stuck my finger in and there's a nest in there. I could feel that. That's my favorite over here.
In fact, the bird's penchant for using man-made nest sites is how the house wren got its name.
This is it. The hole is, I'm twisting it now, if you can see that. Here, the wren just come out. He was in his nest.
Male wren sometimes claim several houses, but used only the one preferred by its mate. Of course, as summer wanes, the wren's time in Minnesota comes to an end after raising 1 or 2 families in those little houses.
Makes me feel good that they realize that I made them a nest and they're talking to me back.
By early autumn, our backyards are silent once more. Next spring, when the wrens return to Ray's backyard, something will have changed. Ray won't be there. A few weeks after we filmed this story, Ray passed away. He was 79.
I have no doubt that Ray's wren houses still sway in the wind.
So full of life and so full still of the sound of songbirds.
Well, that about does it for us this week. Until next time.
What do they say, Millie? Don't forget to introduce a kid to the great outdoors.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. To get more Minnesota Bound, including full episodes, go to mnbound.com. And to follow our latest adventures, like us on Facebook.